there. That was perfect.
Oh.
He's starting to heat up.
Just in time for it to be over.
He definitely ramped it up all the way through. And he's eliminated the cheat step right there with his left foot we were talking about earlier.
Nice throw.
Those are two beauties.
That's right. Mark Kaboly joining us now. He's brought to us by Keystone Custom Apparel, the region's premier spirit wear and sports uniform provider. Yeah, we're playing Combine highlights for you, Mark. You like that?
Combine highlights on the radio.
That's right, baby.
There's only one thing worse than the Combine. Combine on the radio.
You love it out there.
No, it's getting...
It sucks.
It's bad. It's bad.
They booed Carson Beck.
Well, it makes sense. I don't know why. It's not like they beat him or anything.
Yeah, that'd be different.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a job interview, though. Like, you got fans in there booing guys that are running. And
well, if that's
like,
the
what?
word, I guess they think when, who's he going to get drafted by? Whoever. You're going to get booed in stadiums anyways, right?
I mean, but
might as well get booed at the Combine.
I just don't know why you boo him unless there's some Georgia fans. I don't know.
I think we need to, if we're going to allow fan access to the Combine, we need to allow unfettered access. Like, he needs to pee in a cup for them to drug test while people are watching. Not like looking at him.
mm-hmm.
They want to.
Phrasing came out terribly on that one.
If you really, really want to make the Combine even or somewhat interesting, put them in those meetings. Televise those suckers. I know that would. I would never say never because this is the NFL.
I could see them televising because you do the kind of like the speed dating ones.
Yeah.
The speed dating
car
ones.
wash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the in person or the individual ones.
Yeah, you talk to so many people there, and then you get asked, "Hey, you meet with them?" Like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, because there's somebody who walks by and says, "Hey, how you doing? I'm from the Steelers. Nice to meet you." Then it's like, "Oh, did I meet with him? Did I not meet with him?"
Mm-hmm.
Right. Was this just a cursory hello, a little head nod? What was that?
Yeah. How many quarterbacks did they?
4.
I thought it was 5, but
Ty Simpson and Drew Aller among them.
yeah.
And Drew Aller said, he loved meeting with Mike McCarthy. Ty Simpson said, I loved Mike McCarthy, loved meeting with Mike McCarthy. And according to Chris Carter, who we talked to on Friday, they thought it went really well with Ty Simpson. Did you hear the same thing?
Yeah, to me, that's 2 or 3 Will Howards right there, right? If you're going to have a developmental quarterback on your roster, why do you take one in the draft if it's 2nd, 3rd, 4th round if you're so enthralled with Will Howard?
Because
right now?
maybe, and here's the thing.
I don't think it is.
Maybe,
I know where you're going. But
no, maybe they just drafted friggin' Will Howard because he was best available. He was a 6th-round quarterback. They had a higher grade on him, and they need a backup quarterback, too. I mean, they drafted Landry Jones ahead of him.
I understand, but
They drafted Mason Rudolph ahead of him. Maybe they never had this guy in the long-term plans, but because there's nobody else on the damn roster to talk about except for Mason Rudolph, they're singing his praises.
Yeah, and different coaching staff, too.
I first of all, what we learned from Mike McCarthy is he's pretty straightforward. So I don't think he's going to make up anything. That's the sense I get right now.
I mean, he hasn't said anything insane about Will Howard. He just said,
I like Will Howard.
What's McCarthy been known for? Be able to develop some quarterbacks, or maybe not top level ones, some of the intermediate ones. The Cooper Rushes, the Tolzien's, the Matt Flynn's, those type of guys. He looks at Will Howard and says he has the intangibles. He's big. He's strong. He knows how to win. He knows how to command the huddle, right? He knows those things. The other stuff, he believes that he fits his mold of being able to have a chance to turn him into something. That's why they like him so much.
Okay.
that doesn't mean that they don't like somebody else, too, though.
But at that point,
Why not have 2?
because if you draft one that early, 2nd or 3rd, in my opinion, they automatically make the roster, right?
Mm-hmm.
They have to.
Yeah.
So if you like Will Howard, he automatically makes the roster. Then if Aaron Rodgers comes back, he makes the roster. And if Aaron Rodgers gets hurt, you might as well get your 6-11 season.
Great.
But 6-11 this is the issue.
Wonderful.
This is the problem I have with 6-11 season.
There's nothing you said there that doesn't make me want them to draft Drew
I have
Aller.
a problem with 6-11 seasons because you think that 6-11 brings you Drake May. 6-11 brings you,
6-10 brought Ben Roethlisberger, FYI.
Well, that was.
I'm just saying.
And also brought you Josh Rosen and it brought you Zach Wilson. We tend to forget him, right?
I'm not saying their plan is to tank. It's clearly not. But you to me, have just painted the perfect picture of having it both ways. We're going to try to win with Aaron Rodgers, and then if his leg explodes, then you go to a young guy and you find it out. That's a wonderful.
You know who's tanked for a long, long time? The Cleveland Browns. And where has their quarterback situation been for the past 30 years?
I'm not saying that they should tank. I've
doesn't
never
mean
been a
it's
guy
gonna
that
win.
says you need to tank. But why do I need a Mason Rudolph on this roster?
Is that what you're saying? You'd rather have a Mason?
He
than
is.
No, what I'm saying is if I don't want two people with 0 snaps and not ready to play after your 42-year-old. And I don't think they would want that either, considering the players they were going to bring back on defense in some of their, even the offense.
Well, if they love Will Howard that much, like we're saying, why wouldn't they want him as a backup?
Well, they think they have. Well, they think they have potential in him. It doesn't mean he'll be ready
Only one
this
way
year.
to see it. One way to find out.
Got to put him through the McCarthy camp, which I guess doesn't exist anymore at school.
I just don't. You might be right. I just can't wrap my head around the philosophy of we like quarterback X in this draft. We're not going to draft him because a previous regime drafted a quarterback in the 6th round last year.
Yeah, yep.
The problem I have is where the disconnect comes from me and a lot of people is you give me 9-10 win season, people complain about it. I'm happy about that because if you get a 10-win season and you're getting in the playoffs, then you add pieces around him like DK Metcalf and some other guys. All of a sudden, maybe you do have a shot. So that's why I like the Aaron Rodgers and always trying to win. I don't want to lose.
No, I'm with you there.
I don't want to lose.
I'm with you there.
And you don't have to lose. The Seahawks went from 10-7 to Super Bowl champions. It can
I
happen.
think they went 7-9 to 10-7 to Super Bowl champs, right?
Well, whatever.
Whatever.
I was
it
helping your
gradual.
point, and you're trying to take away from it a little bit there.
All right.
You pulled a Harry. I had your. I was on your side.
I just don't like the fact that 5 wins is going to get me Drake May because history says no. Who was number 1 overall last year? The guy from Tennessee. I forget his
Ward.
name. Would you take him right now?
Yes.
You'd take him, but it would not be a slam dunk.
There's no such thing as a slam dunk.
Exactly what I'm getting at.
And I'm not saying they need to tank. I'm saying if you have Rodgers and 2 young guys, that's the best case
I'm
scenario.
not throwing the 3rd round, 2nd round pick at a quarterback that I may or may not use when I can get a Zach Frazier or a Nick Herbig out of it.
They have 3 third-round picks. Yeah,
Still.
Jinx.
Well,
how about that?
Jinx.
I think that's going to be used to go backwards. Now, what your argument should have been was you go 6-10 and you're a top 11, top 10 pick, then you can use some picks to move up to 7 to get somebody next year. But
Well, obviously.
yeah.
Again, but you think I'm sitting here advocating for tanking. I'm not. I just don't want a placeholder backup quarterback on this roster. If Rodgers gets hurt, and let's say he's out the second half of the season, it absolutely does me no good
To have Mason.
to have Jacoby Brissett.
I agree.
To have name backup quarterback here, Joe Flacco. Like, what's the friggin' point?
Okay. How about if he misses 2 games?
Well, that's different.
Then all of a sudden you're going, Will Howard going to keep you back in contention?
Yeah, let's find out, man. Let's find out.
See, I wouldn't do that. First of all, Mason's making $3 million a year. That's nothing. Chump change.
For a reason.
The punter.
God love him. And the Caps go up
I
to
think he can
$301
come in
million.
and win you 2 or 3 games to keep you.
Like he did last year when he lost to Chicago.
Oh, he lost to Chicago.
He did. He threw a
lost.
pick. He had a fumble.
Oh, he threw a pick and
He
lost a fumble.
sucked.
They gave up 30 points to the Bears.
He sucked.
He didn't have his guy on the line.
What's his name?
He didn't have the receiver lined up.
That was it.
He didn't have his receiver lined up. You want that coming back? He don't even know how to line guys up.
Yeah,
I remember that, but I had an excuse for that, and I can't remember what it was. I don't want to go back on my excuse of what happened there. What happened there?
He was rushing to the ball and didn't wait for everybody to get set.
Yeah, but there was something else that happened to why he did that. I forget why.
And Rodgers saw it from the sideline.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone watching TV knew, ruh-roh, Raggy.
Well, didn't they give up like 200 yards rushing that day?
So
you're blaming the quarterback for 1 pick. Oh, I can't even think of Monongai who ran for like 600 yards, and you're blaming the quarterback for losing that 3-point game to a team that probably should have went to the Super Bowl
What?
on the road. found out at the last moment he was.
Was his performance worth $4.5 million in that game? Mason's.
Well, he's only making 2.5. How much does quarterbacks make?
He stinks.
He doesn't stink.
He stinks enough to be a backup quarterback, and I've seen enough. But we're kind of
all of a sudden the
getting
shine's
the
off.
point.
The shine's off.
Yes, the more he plays,
Last
the
year
shine is
you
off.
want him to start,
Because he sucks.
and now you don't.
Because he sucks.
I keep Mason in. If
I know.
if
We
Aaron,
all
if Aaron
know.
breaks his arm again for 2 games, I have a guy to keep you afloat.
Like he didn't do last year when he was 0-1.
Right.
Text us brought to you by Edgar Snyder and Associates, a personal injury law firm. They always say there's never a fee unless we get money for you. You can tweet us brought to you by South Hills Kia Peters Township. Visit them at southhillskia.net.
Adam, am I allowed to agree with you?
Yes.
I think Mason Rudolph stinks as well, and I think Mark's full of it.
Just to make Harry mad. Hey, Harry.
Don't.
Connor Griffin only has 3 hits this spring training.
Should have 5.
Only has 3, though.
5 for 14.
Against spring training pitching that's working on stuff.
What kind of hits were there?
Say that.
What kind of hits were there?
3 hits.
But wait, if the pitchers
3
are working on stuff too, aren't the batters working on stuff as
3
well?
hits.
Can't you use the same?
Yes.
I got him.
I forgot Kaboly. He has to poop on every good thing that is happening outside of the Steelers.
That's 3 hits.
And then prop the Steelers up. Oh, they'll be.
He
This
has
guy.
3 singles?
3 hits.
3 singles?
This guy
Three
is
hits.
sitting here. I want everyone to make sure they're hearing exactly what Mark Kaboly's doing. And yes, he has triggered me. Sitting here.
I tried to trigger him.
Sitting here and singing the praises of Mason Rudolph
unbelievable.
while downplaying
Unbelievable.
what a 19-year-old Connor Griffin is doing right
3
now.
hits. 3 hits.
It sounds like
That 3 hits, man. I'm thinking about 190.
if I'm picking up what
190 million.
Mark is putting down, he doesn't think the Steelers are interested in a quarterback this draft.